I'm Jonathan Goodwin from the incredible Mr. Goodwin, and you're watching Sky Guide. It's really early. We've just arrived at the Cable Airport in Upland, California, and we're going to attempt what is basically a world's first. It involves a really big car, and it's really dangerous. There's a stunt performer called Yakima Canute who, on a stagecoach that was going at an incredible lick, jumped from the stagecoach onto the horses and then climbed underneath the stagecoach and back on top. And so we took that as our jumping off point, and I did a climb completely around a moving car as it was barreling down a runway. And not only did I go underneath, but I didn't go front to back like Yakima did. I went around it sideways, which is actually quite dangerous.
I think this is an extremely difficult stunt simply because so many things have to come together. All the vehicles, the cameras, Jonathan, everything has to be in sync, in tune. And if they're not, there's great chance for maximum danger.
I'm a big fan of Blondin, and tight wire, I think, is one of the purest forms of what I do, because you are literally putting yourself out there, and one wrong move and it's quaintance, as they say, and I think that it's one of those things that really inspires people, and so it is on my list. I have a very long list of bizarre and dangerous things that I want to conquer, and tight wire is certainly one of them. We looked at the weather report for days, even hours ahead of doing that climb, and everything was completely fine. You know, there was no sign of any of that wind or rain that hit me. There is a huge amount of calculated risk involved. It's almost all calculated risk in my job, and you know, there comes a point you can practice, rehearse, research as much as you possibly can, but ultimately the moment that you take that step into doing it, there is always an element of the unknown.
There's a gene in our family, and a lot of the men have it, and it kind of means that they're oddballs in some way.
Yeah, it's true though. My grandfather, my dad's dad, was a bit of an oddball, certainly, and my dad as well. My dad is very health and safety conscious, and you know, if I tell him about the things that I'm going to do, he'll sort of huff and tut and say, well, have you thought about this and have you thought about that? But when he was a young man, goodness, he did things that I would never do. He has 3 brothers, and they played at one point. They dug 2 trenches in their back garden, and they had a big field at the back of the house, and they dug 2 trenches on either side of it and played First World War and shot at each other with live rounds from shotguns, you know, aiming to miss, but incredibly dangerous. And you know, they're all here, but you know, luck rather than judgment, I think. So yeah, I think there is a bit of a truth to the fact that there's a gene in my family that makes us do these kind of things.